headlines the following day were not about the game. It was shock news of Roy Keane's reluctance to commit himself to signing a new contract when his current deal with United expires in the summer.
The club made a fantastic offer to me, but I just felt I wasn't 100% sure what to do, and the best thing was to sit back, get the season under my belt and sit down with the club again, and it's as simple as that. And as I said, unfortunately I can't stop the rumours or stories going around, but there's no hidden agendas with me. It's just I want to concentrate this year on playing for United and take stock and look at the end of the season.
Somebody asked me, well, is he one of the best players in the world? I said, I think he is.
Man United won't be Man United without Roy Keane.
Contract, and we believe he's not putting any pressure on them, and I think Martin Edwards owes it to him.
I would be concerned about is that somebody is going to put such an offer in front of him from Italy or Spain that how can he turn it down?
Coming from different countries, I will look at the different lifestyles, and as I said, they're the things that probably wouldn't appeal to me, whereas the football side of things, yeah, maybe I would like a challenge somewhere else, but again, if we can do well this season, I might think, well, this is the place for me to be, because, as I said, I'm on about challenges, but again, there's no greater challenge to stay at United and, again, to hopefully do well in Europe for a couple of years. It's okay, we won a few championships here, but it would be nice to dominate Europe like, the great teams of Milan and Ajax and teams like that.
Of course, Roy could go for free, and that's where the Ramblers would feel rare empathy with Manchester United over the injustice. They were so delighted at receiving £47,000 themselves for him, they forgot to insist on a sell-on clause when they let him go to Nottingham Forest.
We didn't have any agreement on that. Unfortunately, looking back on it, we could say at this stage that we slipped up on that one.
What about if he goes to Juventus? 5% of 10 million, 15 million, 20 million?
That's the way it goes.
Can you speak any languages?
Just a bit of Irish, but I don't fancy going back to the League of Ireland, not quite yet anyway.
Fingers crossed, the only time he'll go abroad is when he makes those nostalgic trips back to Ireland. Maybe the Ramblers will be his next move when Roy's glorious United career ends.
Signing the new contract, how much of a weight off your mind was it?
Obviously sick to death of it, but it was just a situation I was in. I'm sure everyone's glad to see the back of it. I know I am, because I'm sick of people asking me about it, but it's done and dusted now. I'm obviously delighted. I'm happy to stay here for the next 3.5 years.
How close were you to leaving Manchester United?
Quite close, to be honest, because of the fact we were quite a bit away regarding the contract. But eventually, to be fair to United, the board came up with a contract I felt was right for me. And once it was done, there was no problem me signing it.
How greatly was it playing on your mind?
I think it's just frustrating a little bit, because as I said, especially if the team have good performance or whatever, people just kept going on about my contract and how United weren't looking after me and all this type of stuff, which was a bit unfair, I think, a little bit on the club. Because to be fair, at the end of the day, they've come up with a contract which was quite good.
Well, I was always confident, that obviously the media were running it in a negative way, but I was confident.
A relief?
Yeah, very much so.
I think it was a relief for him as well, because
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it was hanging over him a little bit. I think that he didn't want to leave, but he knew his worth. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's not saying that he doesn't love Manchester United. What he's saying is he's showing respect to his family and his own ability as a footballer to be rewarded for his ability. So I don't think there was anything wrong with that at all. The important thing was that he wanted to stay, and we found the formula.
Roy Keane's simply the heartbeat of the side, with a personality that galvanises those around him. His ability on the pitch has contributed so much to the success. Captain and leader.
How important to you is winning the European Cup and lifting it yourself?
It's made no difference to the fact I missed last year. I would have been just as hungry this year. We had a good result against Valencia, which helped. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm obviously desperate to win it for obviously myself and obviously the club, the fans.
He's got something that it's got nothing to do with coaching or anything like that, or what a manager can give him. But make no mistake about it. The 90%. What you see Roy Keane is Roy Keane, his upbringing and his character. His whole attitude to life is mirrored in the football field. And I think that it's wonderful to see players like that. I think that in a lifetime of management. I've been manager 25 years. I can place Roy in among the very, very best I've ever had, both in character and the will to do things, which determines everyone, I think, and how far they go in life, and he has got that.
And he's a goal scorer now too, as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but he was always a goal scorer. But when we watched him at Forest time and time again, and we tried to get him for years before we actually got him. He was a consistent and prolific goal scorer at Nottingham Forest. I always remember Joe Royal saying to me, he says, the best performance I've seen of a centre forward in the last 3 or 4 years, at the time we were talking, was Roy Keane at centre forward for Forest.
Is it the most prolific season you've had?
No, I think I used to score when I was at Forest. At United probably is. But there's a long way to go yet, you know. Just keep the lads on their toes.
You set yourself a target? What are you on now?
No, I don't set myself targets.
How many you scored?
I'm not sure. I think it might be 8 or 9.
You know exactly how many goals you've scored. 8 or 9?
Yeah, 8 or 9. But as I said, it doesn't matter who scores as long as we win.
That's the party
That's
line.
it, yeah.
But as long as you finish ahead of Andy Cole and Dwight York.
No, I would have thought that would be impossible, but you never know.
Come on, ladsy. Come on, boys. Roy Keane led the players into the second phase just hours after putting pen to paper on a new contract.
Well, I remember it was the worst preparation I ever had for a match. We reported like 3 hours before the match, and I only reported about an hour and a half before the kick-off, and I had nothing to eat, and we'd eventually sorted the contract out. So regarding preparation for a game, it was disgraceful really. From my own point of view, I should have walked away and I should have sorted it out the following week.
Neville. Towards Solskjaer, headed down by Carboni. It's Keane! It had to be Roy Keane!
I scored, but I didn't play particularly well because I didn't feel right physically, because I hadn't eaten all day. And I had other things on my mind regarding the contract, so you learn from your mistakes. And as much as everyone was delighted that was sorted out, I was quite angry with myself, really.
I said all along, if I got the right contract, I would sign it. My priority has always been to stay at the club. Man United have been great to me for the last 7 years. I wouldn't be where I am now without them. And I'd like to think I've done well for the club, and hopefully the next 3.5 years will be, I'll be hitting peak as a midfielder. And what better place than to be here at Old Trafford?